Let's start this right away. We're going to get right down to business, guys. Going to talk about a lot of different stuff. Obviously, we always do. But most importantly, you guys heard me talk about meditation. You've heard me talk about yoga. You've heard me talk about breath work and forgiveness, peace of mind. But now we're going to talk about turtles. We're going to talk about other stuff too. Just give me a second. 1 second. Hey, Austin, how are you? I'm going to bring up my desktop. There we go. Austin says, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you're doing good. Runner Boy is here. He's got his fighting shoes on. He's ready to dive into battle. It's going to be a simple poll. Everyone knows what to do. Right off the bat. However, we're going to talk about some important stuff too. Just give me a second. I need to take care of a few things. It is cold here in the state of Maryland. It's October cold. I don't know if you guys know what that means. October cold is, I'm not used to it being cold. January cold, it could be the same temperature in January. It's, right now it might be like 51 degrees. That's not really cold. But because it's October, because 4 days ago it was 80 degrees, it feels cold. In January, if it got to 50 degrees, it would feel balmy. I would be enjoying it. I would be going around dancing in a pair of Speedos out in the sun. Probably not. I'm exaggerating just a little bit there. But you get the point. Hey, Stella. Stella is in Spain. That's awesome, my friend. I'm glad to hear that. Here's the question, though. Are you poolside? Are you at the pool? Let's see. E is God's son. Our good friend E is here. Hello. Hey, how are you doing today, everyone? I'm doing pretty good, E. How about you? So Stella is officially in Spain. Austin has voted. Here's the question, boy. Here's the question. Is Runner Boy going to accept the results of this election? Joe, how are you? Joe has voted. Thank you, Joe. Austin has voted. New York Deb says, hey, Eric in chat. Hey, Deb. How are you? We got Joe laughing. So here's something I'm going to read quickly. I just did a video on this, but I want to read it too. Often we think of forgiveness. Whenever we think of forgiveness, we always think of it as, let's see. Venom says, SD, can you make moderator for comments? What do you mean for comments? Usually we have to, unless I know you from like another channel, we ask for people to show up for a while so we know who you are. Do you even enjoy being here? I'm about to go off on a spiel. You might listen to me for a minute and like, man, I don't want to listen to that guy. Thank God he didn't give me a moderator. So we always think of forgiveness. Why should I forgive this person? It's a good question. Why should I give this person? Why should I forgive this event? Why should I forgive this situation? We seldom think of it. Let's take a purely selfish stance here, thinking only of ourselves just for a moment. This is from lesson 122 in the workbook of A Course in Miracles. One voice says live. How long will we be live? I'm going to shoot for an hour. That doesn't mean you can go running around the internet and bring people into the conversation to vote for crabs. Just because you're not off to a very good start, have faith. If you truly believe in the superiority of crabs, then you will have faith. Running Boy says, "Okay, I'll get dinner." Do you guys note that I have a little issue of trust as far as Running Boy is concerned? Not a bad thing. He's a passionate guy. He says, "God bless you all." God bless you, my friend. Thank you for that. So here's a reason to forgive. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety, and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that can never be hurt, a deep abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? All this forgiveness offers you and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids as you see no dreams of fear and evil, malice, and attack. But when you wake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you and more. So, instead of thinking, why should I forgive this person? Think by withholding forgiveness what you are withholding from yourself. How you are literally damaging yourself. I know people who will spend a fortune learning how to meditate, learning breath work. We'll go to yoga class after yoga class. We'll do 6-day Buddhist retreats. And yet they will cling to their hurts, their grievances, their resentments. And on the surface, maybe they have a reason to. However, what forgiveness says is look beneath the surface. Go deep. And also, why be a prisoner any longer? Why not offer yourself freedom and liberation? Imagine if Jesus withheld forgiveness from the cross. Would there still have been a resurrection? Jesus, the person when asked, how often do we forgive, said 7 times 70. When he said, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do, he wasn't withholding anything. He didn't say, forgive them, Father, but not just yet. Forgive them, Father, after they've learned their lesson. I was reading earlier the kleshas, 5 afflictions of the mind, the mental vacillating of the mind that draws us in and keeps us from seeing the peacefulness of reality itself. We are drawn to the conflict. But we don't have to be. We dive in here and see what our friend Nightmare has to say. Deb says, I'm good. Lost a tooth today. That yoga class I rocked on Monday, though. I'm glad you had a good class, and I'm sorry to hear about your tooth. I hope you're not in pain. Let's see. Venom says, do you believe in God? I do. I could probably say beyond belief to the experience. Belief might be something that you need to... when you're a kid, you believe in Santa Claus. You outgrow it. When you're a kid, you believe that your parents are infallible. And you learn to see that they're human. When you believe in God, you outgrow the belief to a relationship with a God of everything, a God of all things, a God that resides in your heart, that never leaves, never abandons. If we don't like the word God, some people don't. You can always synonymous love. Do you believe in love? The answer to that, some people might say, hey, Reaper, just here to say, turtle, thank you. So Runner Boy was up to no good. He ran off to get people. He said he's going to eat dinner. He ran off to get people. He went to his other accounts. We were at 75. Thank you, Reaper. I appreciate you coming in and setting things straight. Runner Boy says, no swaying the vote today, Yogi. If crabs win, that's what meant to be. If not, then that's what meant to be. I got you. Okay, I'm going to take you at your word. Hey, Pokeman, how are you? Nightmare says, I'm here, Eric. I almost didn't make it. I had explosive diarrhea. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that. The 9-year-old in me comes out whenever I hear that word. But I came to save crabs one more time. I thought we had this discussion. I thought you had swayed over to turtles. Runner Boy is laughing. Says, I'll be back in 20 minutes. Deb says, having given many times, but seeing a sister leave her past brother in a morgue and hospital, a mutual friend paying for it, and making all arrangements has me tied up in knots. It's a huge character flaw. It isn't a character flaw at all. Not even a little bit. Here's the deep key to forgiveness. Here's 2 deep keys. What I just read, knowing what it offers you, to peacefulness. Whenever you see your sister, you're going to have that. You're going to have that thought, that image, and you'll never be at peace. Whenever you think about that person, you'll never be at peace. But you could let that go. Now here's the trick in letting anything go. We never know what someone is going through. We never know where their mindset is, the thoughts that are playing out. We just don't know. But here's what we do know. Beneath it, beneath the thoughts, is the heart of the person, and the heart is always pure and untainted. People say, well, his heart has a malicious bent, or her heart has holding a grudge. The heart doesn't. The heart is space, spaciousness itself. In yoga, the heart center, it's not a chakra. There is a heart chakra, but the heart center is the intelligence that connects us with God, not the brain. Everyone's heart is always and only pure. It can't be any other way. The brain, the thoughts, it's a mess up there for all of us. People think they are their thoughts. People think they are their brain, their personality, their ego. And they make a mess out of things. And they feel bad. And they have no way of escaping it. When we forgive, we don't forgive the acts. We don't forgive the person. We don't forgive the events. We look deep within and see the innocence of that person beneath all of the flaws, all of the mistakes, all the perceived sins, resentment, judgment. And we, honestly, Debs, you can't forgive. Debs, the ego, Eric, the ego, we can't forgive. We are not that strong. However, the Holy Spirit, or love, or Jesus, they are capable of nothing but forgiveness because they don't see any flaws. Again, that's the lesson from the crucifixion. And in every moment we have the opportunity. Do we choose the crucifixion, crucifying other people, or crucifying ourselves? Or do we choose the resurrection where everyone has a moment to be reborn anew in their original innocence? Which is why Jesus was able to forgive from the cross. Again, he said, they know not what they do. He didn't say, they knew exactly what they were doing and they nailed me to the cross anyway. So if you were to, we always think I can't forgive like Jesus forgave. I can't forgive like Buddha forgave. I can't forgive like Krishna urges me to. But we can turn everything over to the Holy Spirit. We can turn everything over to Jesus and say, I need a miracle. And a miracle is simply a shift in perception, knowing that we are looking at it this way. But if we simply said to ourselves, is there another way of seeing this? God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, can you show me another way of seeing this? And then simply rest with that. See what happens. Hey, Bushka. Jacob's here, and Jacob Love liked. Appreciate that, Jacob. But Jacob, did you vote? That's the question. Did you vote? Hey, Skeeter. Skeeter says, everyone cheers. Brother Yogi, how you doing? Skeeter, I'm doing pretty good. You didn't happen to vote when you came in, did you? Please note that I'm not telling everyone how to vote. You didn't hear me say, please vote for turtles because they are my personal favorite. That I really want them to be the spirit totem of my channel. You don't hear me trying to influence the vote, but putting my personal opinion of how great and loving, how spiritual, how patient I find turtles. You don't hear me doing that kind of stuff. I'm above that type of behavior. Our friend Runnerboy, though, he'll try to sway your vote. Deb says, it's a soul sister of mine, and I'm speechless. I've been in hermit mode trying to figure out what to say, and I'm at a loss in multiple ways. That's tough. That is tough, Deb. I'm going to go to my default. You don't have to know what to say. If you were to say to yourself, I know from the point of view of my ego that this was a deep act of a deeply unloving act that I'm finding it difficult to forgive. Or it seems to be a deeply unloving act and I'm finding it difficult, impossible to forgive, and I don't know what to say. What if you asked for the voice of love, the voice of God, the voice of Jesus, the voice of the Holy Spirit, whatever you're more comfortable with, to speak for you? That's asking for a miracle. Remember, a miracle isn't saying, can I turn water into wine? Can I walk on water? Can I have the gift of fish and loaves? It is saying, can I have another way of seeing this? Skeeter says, yes, taking a break tonight, catfishing, and tomorrow night, giving the old pond a break. And be going live on Saturday morning around 9 a.m. Oh, 9 a.m. Awesome. My Halloween special tomorrow night around 9 p.m. Gotcha. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Halloween special. I might not make it live as that's pretty late for me, but I will definitely watch it. Man, I bet you it's going to be awesome. So if you guys missed that, friend Skeeter, 9 a.m. Saturday morning, he'll be catfishing. 9 p.m. Is the Halloween special. Halloween live stream. Check it out. It's going to be a haunted house, right? Luke says, I remember when you quoted, we cannot change the world, but we can change how we perceive it. It has struck with me. It's definitely a life-changing quote. The world is based upon our perception. We change our perception, we change the world. One person at a time. We can change our perception of the person that we find unable to forgive. They simply didn't know any better than what they were doing at the time. If they did, things would have been different. We forgive because we want forgiveness. We get what we receive what we give. If you want forgiveness for your own transgressions, which will happen sooner or later, someone will view you as doing something to the point of, I simply can't forgive you. So where do we start? Do we want to wait for that, or do we want to start practicing now? And the key is, it all begins within. We forgive ourselves for the perception that that person did something wrong, even if that person did something wrong. So it seems. On the deeper level, when you see your own innocence, you have nothing to do but to extend it to others as well. Silence is my virtue says, I love all animals, so do I. It's why if someone were to tell me being a vegan is the worst possible diet for your health, I'd have to shrug my shoulders and say that could be, but I'm an ethical vegan. It's nice to see you, Silence. Deb says, thank you, I will pray about it. If she speaks to me then, I will know it's okay. Hey, let me know how it goes. And hey, Debs, I'm joining you in prayer for peace of mind. May you have peace of mind, however it unfolds. Skeeta says, love going through a haunted house. Oh, live going through a haunted house. Gotcha. It's going to be spooky, guys. I'm going to have to mention it to my stepdaughter, who loves that stuff. Leonard says, miracles is when opportunity meets preparation. Good afternoon, Yogi. Hey, Leonard, how are you? Nice to see you. Now, of course, Miracles offers a different perspective on miracles. That a miracle is simply the shift of our perception from the world of ego, in which things, objects, events seem solid and real, to the true world of absolute love, the world of God, the world of immaterial spirit. So we have, says we have two voices in our head at all times. The voice of ego, which is always wrong, because it is always keeping us bound into the conditions of the world. Or we have the voice of the Holy Spirit, which is our intermediary between us and God. It's our original true voice, and it is always right, and it is always urging us to love. Nothing but. I have a little card I keep at my desk. It says, nope, I didn't write it backwards. It says, live lovingly to the best that I'm capable of. Some days are better than others. We got some scary emojis from Luke. Hey, be confident. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Easy says, what a great talk we had this morning. It was a great talk. Hey, I sent you a Thomas Merton quote that I thought you might find useful. I'll read it again. I'm going to read the whole thing. The deepest level of communication is not communication, but communion. It is wordless. It is beyond words. It is beyond speech. It is beyond concept. Not that we discover a new unity, but we discover an old unity. My dear brothers and sisters, we are already one, but we imagine we are not. And what we have to recover is our original unity. What we have to be is what we are. Man, what a closing sentence. What we have to be is what we are. Can it get any simpler? Note I didn't say, can it get any easier? It is easy, but only when we reach the point of true surrender, when we think to ourselves, man, I've made a mess out of things. I'm tired of making a mess out of things. This is when we ask for a miracle. I can tell you a messed up story if you want to hear it. Let's get caught up first. Man, we keep going back and forth. Turtles and crabs. And we're almost halfway through. Again, I don't want to tilt the vote in my favor by mentioning how much I love turtles. That would be unfair. So I won't mention how much I love turtles. Silence says, Buddha love, just got home and going to take my detox bath. You have me interested in trying that, Buddha. And when my mom gets back, sorry I couldn't pull you up yesterday. That's okay. Did not feel well, had serious neck issues, and was very dizzy. Hey, always take care of yourself. Ian says, morning, all. Hope you have a great day. Thank you, Ian. How are you? Luke says, man, sorry. Luke says, man, how ego gets in the way of forgiveness. That's because the nature of the ego is what's in it for me. I'm not saying the ego is good nor bad, but it is of self-interest because it is of the self. But who we are is not the ego. Who we are is the awareness of the ego. Who we are is the love that holds the ego. So if we were to rely on the ego to do the job of spirit, we're misguided. We rely on spirit. We rely on the Holy Spirit or love or the Tao to do the job it's supposed to do. Love, knowing no conditions. I should read St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians and how beautifully he describes love. Maybe, in my opinion, the most poetic and meaningful thing in the entire Bible. Love knows no grudges, holds no resentment. It's impossible. So love itself, which is who you are, as Thomas Merton said, unity. We are already unity. We're already union. That's who we are, which means that we cannot even, our reality, who we truly are, cannot even perceive sin or error. All we have to do is return to that. Of course, we'll slip back into the ego. That doesn't mean we can't go back and to keep seeing. It's like dipping a tea bag into a cup. Eventually, you learn to leave it there for a while and you get a cup of tea. Be Confident says, how's it going? It's going pretty well, my friend. We got more Buddha love. We went on a nice trail walk today. Nice. I think I believe in time travel. Don't judge me, Yogi. We've talked about this before. There's no reason why time, being an illusion, as Einstein said, albeit a stubborn one, can't be overcome. I got a book on the yoga of time travel, written by a quantum physicist. Confident says, joking, I know you would never judge. Thank you for dropping links, Jacob. And thank you for dropping links, Be Confident as well. Deb says, you're one heck of a guy, Eric. Well, let me tell you my story. Let's see, Confident says, New York Deb's done. Has anyone not voted for Turtles yet? Again, not that I'm swaying. Confident says, Yogi, I just don't respond, but program is bothering me. Has he found out my Gmail? Wow. And I keep getting messages from him saying mean stuff, and I have no idea how to block him. Man, I'm sorry about that. How could he find out your Gmail? And why would he bother you? You know, you come here on my channel. I'm the one he should be bothering. Ian says it's a nice morning here. I'm glad to hear that. Confident says, I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how, but he says he follows me around online, and he seems to join you live whenever I do. Pick on me especially. Well, I believe you could block him on YouTube so you don't see him. Easy says, I love that quote. Thanks for sharing. Why do you think we've lost touch, unity? Why do we feel like we are separate? Because we are drawn in to the shiny objects. I used the analogy today of, let's see, 1 second. Deb says, loss of life is tough, hurts the heart. Today, 15 years since my mom passed, but I'm doing okay this year. It never gets easy, though. We can do okay, but it never gets easier. October 2nd, it was 3-year anniversary of my father passing. So, Debs, I'm sorry. Holding you close, my friend. Einstein, or Confidence says, "Time is a stubborn illusion" by Albert Einstein, my favorite quote. I like it too. We got Buddha love and Jacob love, the best love of all. The Confidence says, "I took it off. It's really annoying." Um, so I'll dive back in. Scott Perkins says, "This is Zach." Well, hey, Zach. Confidence says, "I will block him." Imagine, I use the wave analogy, wave ocean analogy quite a bit, but let's take it a little deeper. Imagine an infinite ocean, nothing but ocean. An ocean is a all-encompassing love, nothing but love, consciousness, and it's all there is. Now imagine from the depth of that consciousness, from the depth of that love, came an urge to express itself in a different way. And a wave emerged and crested. The wave never being separate from the ocean itself. A beautiful expression of the ocean. The sons, the daughters of God, that wave. Now imagine as this goes on, the wave crest and gets a crazy little thought. What would it be like to be separate from the ocean? What if I was my own little ocean, apart from that ocean? And in that moment, it had a crazy dream that it was completely separate. That the ocean itself might have been a fantasy. The ocean, the vast ocean, that vast body of love might just be a figment, but maybe it isn't. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I'm feeling a little guilty. All this is happening. Well, it's still connected to the ocean. It's still a wave. It is still nothing but ocean, nothing but love. But now it's created a world because it has all the power. Thoughts leave not their source. Creativity leaves not its source. So the sons and daughters of God, that little wave, have all the creative power of God, and they create, or of the ocean, and they create an entire world in which they exist in, separate, believing themselves separate. And this world, they feel a little guilty about. They've separated from the ocean. That guilt produces no small amount of fear. As a matter of fact, a great deal of fear. And it starts getting projected outwards, and they get lost in that projection, more so and more so and more so. Some of them look for a way back. And you know what they find? They find this thought. Wait a minute. I am still the ocean. I've never not been the ocean. And they merge back in. Some people keep chasing after shiny things, shiny thoughts. They get distracted by, Easy, you and I talked about this, esoteric stuff. Give me one more method of deep meditation. Give me one more yoga pose. Give me one more Buddhist technique. Give me one more super prayer. Give me one more strategy of raising my vibrational. Here's the thing. We are always only vibrating as the ocean. We're always only vibrating as love. It could be vibrating at different levels, but it's always only love. So that's how we get drawn into that. Anna Marlene says, "Hi, hello, my friend. Sorry, guys, that I'm behind. Be Confident says, well, I guess program is trans, so I misgendered. Sorry. I think he mentioned that, but I think he was just making things up. Who knows? Doesn't matter either way. Deb says, some people sub to all your subs and stalk you, so I keep my subs private. Smart move. Scott says, hi. Confident says, that's true. Be Confident says, well, I'll make my subscriptions private from now on. Confidence says, good point. So, Anna Marlene, how are you? Deb says, sure. Sure as be. Everyone wants you to take sides. I refuse. We are accountable for our actions. I'm the same way. I even made an announcement that I refuse to take sides any longer. Do not send me invitations for your side. I respect you, I honor you, I love you, but I will not join your side. Because I refuse to have a side. It's not your side or my side. It is any side. I don't want to divide the world any farther than it already is. I want to recognize wholeness and live my life from there. Confidence says, Yogi, it's chilly today. It's chilly here too. Confidence says, Yogi, do you have a motorcycle? Ever owned one? I have not owned a motorcycle. I've been on one. I've ridden one. I don't care for them a whole lot. I'm not a... my all-time favorite car is that I had for 18 years. We mentioned this before, a Subaru Outback. That tells you everything about the kind of guy that I am. Daredevils don't drive Subaru Outbacks. Let's see, Ian says, on the positive side, I have met really great people on my channel, and they have my full respect. Hey, I agree. I have too, and Ian, you are one of them. Be Confident is one of them. Even Runner Boy is one of them. Debs. Our friend Easy. All of you guys. Jacob and Buddha. The Burpee Reaper. Don't want to forget anyone. I could go on. I could just keep listening. You know what? Even the people who come here with ill intent, they're serving us. They're helping us. I don't have to take everything so seriously, including myself, including my channel. Here's the one thing I take seriously. Turtles. The only thing in the world at this moment I take seriously is turtles. Can we preserve their legacy? Can we vote? Again, I'm not swaying. Can we vote to save the legacy of turtles? Can you find it in your heart? Deb, I love you saying that. Everyone wants you to take sides. Confidence says, I'm just a support channel, so stay subscribed to me or unsubscribe. Don't care either way. Gotcha. Confidence says, it's a side of love. It is a side of love, and love itself has no side. It's all encompassing. Funny Boys have returned. Wow, 30 votes already. And you had nothing to do with any of this? Hey, Daisy, how are you? Anna says, can I say the F word? Are we talking about forgiveness? You can say forgiveness. We've been talking about that all day. I talk about it every day. Daisy said, good afternoon, Yogi. Jacob's dropping some links, because that's what Jacob does. Jacob's a good guy. Jacob is the best of guys. Ian says, never had any problems with those who subscribe to the great people and supporters. We have issues here all the time, but when you consider how huge YouTube is and how small that actually is, let's see. Ian says, oops, I read that. Confidence says, yes, I like Subarus. I would like to have another one someday. We got some laughing, some heart emojis, some laughing emojis from our friend Daisy. Deb says, great group in that chat. Let's see. Anna Marie says, Yogi, are you religious? I'm sort of irreligious. No, I'm not religious. I also don't like the I'm spiritual, not religious. It seems like a cop out. Um, I am, man, I'm just me. I practice yoga. It's my spiritual path, I guess. Um, Yoga being, it's not just asanas, it's not just the postures. It is a deeply psychological, I was going to say philosophical, but it's more than a philosophy. It gives you a psychological viewpoint on how to be at peace within the world. I am a student of Course in Miracles, which is a course in how to forgive so that we transcend the perception of the world to the reality of love itself. And I've been doing yoga since I was a kid, and I've been practicing the Course in Miracles since 1991-ish, 2-ish, 3-ish, imperfectly through all these years. And I do love Jesus. I went to a Catholic school. I was raised a Catholic. And then I had a strained relationship with the Jesus that I was taught. However, through several years, and more specifically through the past several months, I have returned to a deeply personal relationship with Jesus as not just a guide, but as a beloved brother, as a beloved friend, willing to offer me a completely different way of seeing the world. Thank you for asking that. Daisy says, thank you, Jacob. Let's see. It says, do you want to get funky? Man, I was born funky. Just because I'm a bald white guy wearing glasses doesn't mean I can't get funky. Man, put some Parliament on, you're going to see one funky dude. Confa says, what's that loud do hum coming from your phone or something? It might be, I got a space heater. So yeah, it might be the space heater that you hear. Hold on. When it turns off, let me know if you still hear that. Or it could be my desktop. Ian says, fun fact, my mother taught yoga. Wow, nice. I was on TV, very few episodes, teaching yoga. That's awesome. That is a fun fact. Runner Boy says, I will not tell anyone to vote crabs. He winks. Where are we? Let's see. Confidence says, Anna, please don't say that. Confidence says, cool yin. Delingo says, God bless everyone. I agree, my friend. God bless you. Thank you for coming in. It was nice seeing you this morning. Ian says, thank you, Confident. She's a spitting image of Nana Muscori. Don't know who that is. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob drops Brian, the legendary Brian Lane's channel. One of boys tips my top hat, 39-degree angle. Runner Boy is up to something. Don't know what it is yet, but he's up to something. Delingo says, watching this while we're on our way to clinic to get boosted for a rabies vaccine. Is everything okay? Oh. Nana, it seems like a Greek name. Muscori is a famous Greek singer. What does she sing? Easy says, so in a way, we are choosing to be separate from unity. Exactly. But we don't even know we're choosing it anymore. And we don't even know that we have a choice any longer. We're so deep into the mix. So separation, a form of deception. We could say it's a form of deception. I like just thinking that we're caught in the illusion. And we don't even know it's an illusion because it seems so real. Perception makes reality that we experience. Boy says, well, Yogi, I have yet to use my own vote. I'll leave it at that. I could pull a reverse Uno and vote turtle. Man, look at a turtle. Go get a picture of a turtle and look deep in the eye. I hope Brian Lane shows up. Brian Lane absolutely loves turtles. If you see videos of Brian, and go to his page, Jacob had already dropped the link. He has 2 pet turtles, and he so clearly and obviously loves those turtles, which is amazing to watch. But even more so, you watch the turtles love him back. It's absolutely amazing. The turtles are affectionate towards him. Skit says, if turtles don't win, I'm going to cry. Me too. My heart will literally be broken. But you know what? The heart is meant to be broken. So we realize the spaciousness of what it actually is. Leonard Cohen, the great Canadian songwriter, says everything, or said, everything has a crack in it. Because that's how the light gets in. Hey, Skits. Flingo says, I'm fine. Thank you, sir. It's just Auntie's dogs bit me, and he has no vaccine. Gotcha. So, hey, I know that's painful. It used to be, right? So sending prayers your way. I'm glad you're being safe. Runner Boy says, I believe have crabs as the second option is already at a disadvantage. That could be. However, I've had it the other way around before, so I'm flipping things to keep it even and fair. Easy says, I think it's tough to understand why we even chose that separation, especially since the separation comes with the burden of forgetting that we made this choice. Well, here's the actual thing. We didn't even really choose it. We only dreamed that we chose it. We imagined. But again, we are blessed with the innate creativity of the source itself. So the dream seems very, very real. People would love to debate and argue that this doesn't seem like a dream, it doesn't feel like a dream, this is very real. Of course it's very real. We have made it very real. It has to be very real. However, when you start getting that glimpse of the unreality of it, and your heart really starts to break open, and you realize that spaciousness, and that every great teacher across every religion imaginable, every spiritual tradition, all point in the same direction. Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within. And we immediately looked out. Skit says, yes, Runner Boy, turtles, of course. Skit says, how was your day, Eric? It was pretty good. Pretty good. This is mating season for a lot of animals, mating season for deer. And I caught 2 bucks locking horns and actually having a little battle before the bigger, older one chased a younger one away. I filmed it, and I'll have it up sometime soon on my nature shorts. And as I'm filming it, the winning buck looks at me like, you got something to say? And I was like, nope, I'm going back to my walk. But he definitely gave me the eye. Runner Boy says, you know what to vote. Don't let me down. Skit says, yes, RV, turtles, of course. Ian says, morning Skits, have a great day. Runner Boy says, no, I will forgive you anyway. You know what? That alone, that comment from Runner Boy, that alone is why I love Runner Boy. He's heartbroken, and yet I'll forgive you anyway. We get turtle emojis. Rod and Carrie says, "Hey Eric, hey Rod, thanks for stopping by me and GPS Live. Hey, I enjoyed it a lot. I learned a lot. Carry rope, guys. Do you carry rope with you when you go out, especially if you're going out in the woods? Even for a day hike, are you prepared if something goes wrong in a day hike? Even unfamiliar territory that you've been 100 times. Man, when I was ultra running, I would be out for 9-10 hour runs. And when I think about it now, especially after watching the live stream, even that was taking some chances. Nightmare says, I just love seeing deer. So do I. Skit says, morning in, have a great day. To my friend, it's Friday already. Where you are, have an amazing weekend, brother. Yeah, he's a day ahead of us. Skit says, no way. That'll be so cool to see. Yeah, it will be. I will post it tomorrow for sure. Ian says, thanks, Skits. So we're coming near the end. I said we're going to do an hour. We're going to do an hour live stream. So almost 8 minutes, unless a lot of people come in. Ginger says, Mr. Krabs taking over Wendy's. I saw that. It's a weird thing to have in a fast food place, isn't it? Should you be eating fast food crab? There's just something wrong with that. Skit says, laughing, Eric almost got into fights with a deer. I'd back you. I appreciate that. Man, but the look in his eye. And he was the winner. Running Boy says, me writes Skit's name 2 times in diary. Uh-oh. You made the list, Skits. Running Boy says, I seen a pigeon today. I like pigeons. I saw a dove today. I really like doves. Nightmare says, I can't wait till those snowy walks amongst nature. There is something magical about a snowy walk, especially early in the morning. No one is out, and the snow is untouched, undisturbed. You are the first and only track, except for maybe some animals. Runner Boy says, did someone say crabs? Yep, our friend Ginger said. Ginger says, my son had it and said it was good. Nice. Skits is laughing. Runner Boy, at least I made it. That's got to count for something. That's true. Runner Boy says, me circle Skits' name in diary. Ginger says, yes. Do you have crabs, Runner? Runner Boy says, next. Love our toy pops. She came in here just to vote for turtles. What a wonderful friend she is. This is why I love our toy pops. This is why I love our toy pops. How are you? I was worried about your little puppy finding that little the little hole in the fence to sneak through. Skits is laughing. Toy Pup says hi. Ian is laughing. We get heart emojis from Love Our Toy Pups. Jacob says 5 more subs for our brother. Is this Skits? What do we got here? Oh wow, 5 more. Is everyone subscribed to Skits? If you're not, 5 more gets him to 100. Hey Skits, what do we get with 100 subs? Do we get a new song? Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Jacob. Nightmare says, Toy Pups, I'm hearing bad things about you and your voting choices. You can say nothing bad about Love Our Toy Pups. It's impossible. One boy says, "Oh, not away your vote like Yogi. Not sway your vote like Yogi Toy Pups." Was I inadvertently swaying someone's? It escaped my attention. Fortunately, As a practitioner of A Course in Miracles and forgiveness, I instantly forgive myself. Jacob drops Nightmare of the Lakes. I voted the minority again. Well, I'm happy you did. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Hey, Squirrel Sniper. How are you? Just give me 1 second. There we go. So I was going to tell a story from my drunken days, but I think I will wait. Skid says, thanks, Jacob, so much, brother. I hope you are well. And yes, 5 more to 100. I was thinking you inspired me last night and tonight by having some fun. Boy says he will need 6 more. What, 101? Toy Pup says, how is everyone? Good, my friend. How are you? Sniper says, greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. How you doing, Sniper? Toy Pup says, gonna start spamming now. I appreciate that. Skit says, oops, I read that. Toy Pup said, we're good. Thank you so much. We're spamming, guys. They have a million holes or spaces because they're it's so small. Yeah, definitely have to keep an eye out. Toy Pups is laughing. She's already connected to Skits. Jacob says, thank you so much for having me on your live stream once again, brother Mr. Yogi. Truly appreciate it. Much love and respect. Big salute. Big salute to you, my friend. Skit says, I was going to make a vlog called Spot the Frog and place a little teddy frog somewhere in my video, but to do a little competition too, so people can comment, then draw a name and send them a frog teddy. Hey, that's a really good idea. Admin says, we got some deep thinking. Ginger says, don't tell me you got crabs. Let's see. Toy Pup says, guys, I always vote the majority. I didn't know. I'm all with your vote. Hey, whatever you decide to do. I think this is the most important vote we've had yet. I've mentioned before and I'm not trying to, honestly, I'm not trying to sway anyone, my deep love for turtles, the infinite patience that they teach us. To slow down the heart rate. Slow down the heart rate and you'll live forever. They are not stressed. Have you ever seen a stressed out turtle? I bet you Brian Lane has seen a stressed out turtle. And you know how he handles a stressed out turtle? Brian Lane loves them. Reduces the stress instantly. Love heals because love is who we are. Turns us back to reality itself. I was hooked. The beginning of A Course in Miracles says, only love is real. Nothing unreal exists. Therein lies the peace of God. If I never read anything else in the 770 some pages in the text, that alone would have been enough for an entire life path for me. If only love is real, that means anything that seems unloving is an illusion, and therefore is not worthy of my energy. So again, when people say, why do you place such a huge emphasis on forgiveness? It's not because I'm forgiving the other person. It's because I cherish my peace of mind. I cherish my loving heart. I cherish the fact that I cannot be swayed by outer conditions to hurt or harm someone, anyone. regardless of what they bring to me. It's not about them. It's always about me. That sounds like an ego quote, right? It's about me. And if I was talking about the ego, it would be very selfish. However, I'm not talking about the ego. I'm talking about who I really am, which is the same exact, not separate, not different, the same exact thing that you are. And that's the nature of unity. Let's see. Toy Pup says, hi, admin. Meet my very good friends. Let's see. Runner Boys, guys, Crab needs your help. Hey, we are past the hour mark. Officially, the polls are closing. Now, here's the truth. You can learn about the infinite nature of love and who you are looking at a turtle. But I'm going to give you the truth. You can learn about infinite love and the nature of reality by looking at a crab. Both. Everything that comes up into your life is there to teach you something. And there's only one thing to learn. Who are we? That's the nature of Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga is the yoga of self-study. We connect to God through finding out who we are. And it's through negation, dismissal. If we ask, who am I? And I say, well, I am a YouTube live streamer. Not really. If there was no such thing as a YouTube, what would I be? Who would I be? So who am I then? Well, I used to be an ultra runner. I don't do that anymore. So obviously I'm not the things that I do. Am I my body? Which body? The body I had when I was 16, when I looked like a Greek god, by the way. The body that I had when I was powerlifting, 220 pounds. The body that I had when I was bodybuilding. The body that I had when I was a skinny ultra runner. So I can't be a body if it's always changing. So are my thoughts. But my thoughts change more than my body does. So I can't be my thoughts. So who am I? And I come to only one conclusion, and I think our friend Easy knows what that conclusion is. It's the sacred shrug. I don't know. I don't know means the ineffable. It can't be described. Who you are can't be described. Who you are is not separate from God. And the God that can be told is not the true God. The Tao that can be expressed is not the true Tao. Oh, Ginger says, he said you had a drunken story, and I was asking if you got crabs. I have gotten crabs when I was drunk, but not the kind of crabs that you're thinking of, Ginger. Because again, guys, I live in Maryland, 20 minutes outside of Baltimore. Everyone ate crabs on every occasion. The host is a yogi. I like to think we're all yogis. Yoga means union, and we all practice union. Whenever you see someone different and can see only how you are like, that is a quote from my first book, by the way, then you are God's hero, because you've realized your unity with each other and with God. No separation. It says, are there cane toads in America? They're pests here. I don't know if we have cane toads. I'm going to look that up. Remind me next time you get a chance to pop in the live stream. Skit says, no, I think we got boned. It was a fair vote. Let's see, Ginger, you got any other count to vote crabs? Laboratory Pup says, be right back. So this means Runner Boy already voted with his other accounts. Luke says, Ian, we got some South Texas. They're usually only around after a heavy rain, and they're not many here. Gotcha. Ginger says he's cheating. There were melon votes. That was funny. The world is against him today. Some days it is, you know? Think of the poor wombat. Take solace in the wombat. Ian says, thanks, Luke. I was just wondering about that. Ian, you and I are similar that way. I start thinking about things like that. Sometimes I will find myself Googling moose population of northeastern states. Believe it or not, Connecticut and Massachusetts have small moose populations. It's good to be curious about everything. Nightmare says, it seems the mighty empire of crabs has fallen into the words of Conor McGregor. This is not over. We can have a rematch of some sort. Crabs can always make a comeback. Wonderboy says, Nightmare, make 2 accounts and vote. We're going to end the poll. I gave it an extra 6 minutes. One more vote for crabs is all we need, guys. Crabs eat their own offspring. Ian says, absolutely. 100% Eric. Runnerboy says, no rematch. This is the end. Skis says, you might put up a mighty fight, Team Crab. It was long. Fearsome battle. But the turtle and their ninja skills may reign forever. This is the turtles. Shout out to Turtles, says Luke. Austin says, hey, Skit's brother. Hey, everyone. And here it is, guys. The poll is over. They gave it an additional 7 minutes. It was close. It was a worthy battle. But come on, guys. Turtles. Runner Boy, even you love turtles. I feel bad now. I'm happy. Finally, this is the first poll that I have actually come out on top in the history of all the polls we've ever done. Wonderboy says, yes, 51, number 47. How does that make sense? How does it make sense that we had 50 votes and I only have 11 people in the live stream? Only 31 people gave me, 50 people came in to vote, and only 31 were like, let me hit the thumbs up button. People like the poll more than they like anything I have to say. So how do you think I feel, Runner Boy? Luke says 51% plus 47 equals 100. Well, there you go. That makes perfect sense. Let's see. Skid says, I think Runner Boy secretly voted Turtles. That could be. Runner Boy says, Skids, I did it to start. I was so confident. That makes it sort of bittersweet, doesn't it, guys? Oh, I forgot to take my herbal sleep medicine. By herbal, I mean truly herbal, not the other herbal. So how ironic is that? Skips his laughing, says no way. Nightmare says, I promise I didn't use 6 accounts to vote. That seems so sincere. So yeah, how ironic that Runner Boy brought about his own downfall, the downfall of the crab, rests solely on the shoulders of Runner Boy. There's a lesson for all of us there. Luke says, I've noticed that on most polls, people will just scroll through and answer a poll and keep scrolling. I've done it a couple times myself. Interesting. Melissa says, did you know that Liam Payne passed away yesterday? I didn't. I'll be honest with you, though. I don't know who Liam Payne is. But if he is someone that you liked and admired, my heart goes out to you, my friend. Runaway says, truly the crab's downfall was ego of man. This is true. You know what? That's a very profound statement. Because remember, so many Native American lores say the universe rests on the back of a turtle. Although in the Taoist tradition, the universe is a green dragon. Got a wonderful book by Brian Swim called The Universe is a Green Dragon. It's the cosmology of consciousness. So truly the crab's downfall was ego of man. So if we view the turtle as having the entire universe on its back, crabs signifying the ego. In the end, even if it's close, spirit always wins. Or a better way of saying it is, never bet against the turtle. I think Skits will agree with that. I think Luke might agree with that. Never bet against the turtle. Ginya says, I think too many, I think so too. Maybe some of the voters were deceased and they failed it anyway. That could be. So, Ginger, are you calling for an investigation? Nightmare says, I heard of Liam Payne. Oh, I have heard of One Direction. I have. So, he was in One Direction. Nightmare says, sad what happened, but apparently he was heavily intoxicated. Not that it matters, but yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. Rona says, microplastics beat turtles. So do the little plastic things they put on six-packs. Very bad for turtles. Fishing line. Abandoned fishing line. Very bad for turtles. Very bad for birds. This is why I love people like Stuart the Fish Whisperer and Bob and Skeeter and Dan, Amateur Angler, because they care so much for the environment. Turtle Truths. Junior says, oh yes, it was a discount. The machine is junk. My fellow guy said so. Well, then it's got to be true. It's got to be true for sure. I'm waiting for the conspiracy theories to come out. One of us says we use glues for six-packs. Now they just stuck together. Hey, that's pretty clever. So we're going to wrap things up. We're going to wrap things up so I can bask in the glory of turtles. I might never have another poll because this is the first one that I ever came out on top. Why, let me go out a winner. But I'll do another. You guys think. I don't know if I'll ever vote anything against the turtle. I don't know if I'll ever run anything against the turtle. So we might have to be a whole new thing. Nightmare says, never thought I'd see the day that crabs were defeated, Eric. You guys were here. Amazing. Thank you for joining me. Said, this is going to go down in history. It's going to go on down in the history of just a yogi doing burpees in his basement. It's interesting to have a moment of silence. Hey, you know what? We're going to get more than a moment of silence. We're going to get the Tibetan meditation bell ringing for two things. It's going to ring first for the turtle victory. And now for Runner Boy, for Ginger, for Nightmare, it is going to ring for the reign of the crab. It was long, it was noble, it was mighty. It had its supporters. But its time is over. Skits is laughing at the bell. Here we go. You can follow the sound of any bell to complete silence. Tibetan meditation method, follow the sound. Sound always ends in silence. The sound always emerges from silence. Where there is silence, you will find the vast stillness of the turtle. The turtle represents consciousness. The crab represents, as our friend the philosopher, Runnerboy, the ego. In the end, the ego is always undone by its own confidence, its own trickery. So Runnerboy knew this all along. Don't fall for the uh, seeming innocence of Runnerboy. He is here to teach. He's teaching us a deep philosophical lesson. The ego is the downfall. The self-confidence of the ego is the downfall. Runnerboy knew what he was doing the entire time. He knew Turtles was going to win. But he sacrificed the Turtles to teach us a very valuable lesson. Imagine that. Is that the most beautiful thing? This is why we could say Runnerboy, our spiritual mentor, teaching us the way of the turtle through negation of the crab. Thank you, Runnerboy. That's why you got the final ring of the bell. Nightmare gives a ring of the bell too. It's good. Says, hey Timo. Hey Timo, how are you? You are up late, my friend. Timo says hello, everyone. Timo had a fantastic day. He had a great walk in the woods with Bax. Skit says, hope you had a wonderful day, brother. Runnerboy says, it's time for crabs to walk into the light. It is. Let's see. Bookshire says, hey to Skits. Nightmare says, sounds like more like a traitor to me, Eric. He was helping us out. Runnerboy says, me sheds a tear. He sacrificed that which he loved the most so that we would all rise up in consciousness. Tonight, we are all vibrating just a little bit higher thanks to Runnerboy and that selfless act. Skid says, glad to hear it, Timo. Keep smiling, my friend. I will set notifications now. Keep moving your live stream. We are only days away from the next premiere. Sunday afternoon. Well, Sunday afternoon for me. It'll be Sunday evening for Optimob. And probably for many of you guys as well. Ginger says, I'm taking this crap to my lawyer. The fence is not finished. The illegal aliens voted too. Yes, dead people, illegal aliens. Some people voted twice. But in the end, man, we all love turtles. Now, I would stop for anything in the road, but ask yourself this question. If you were driving down the road and you saw a turtle in the road trying to get across, you would immediately stop and get that turtle to the other side. And if you do, always take it to the side that it is going, in the direction that it's going. It's going there for a reason. If you put it on the other side, it's just going to cross the road again. Everyone would do that. If you were driving down the road and you saw a crab in the middle of the road, you'd be like, huh, there's a crab in the road. And you'd keep driving. Yes? No? I like to think I'd stop for everything and anything. I would stop for a crab. I have stopped for crayfish before to get them out of the road. I had a bit of a spiritual epiphany with a crayfish after a storm. Only had one claw. And it was in the middle of the bike path. Bikes were going by. That big. Bikes, dogs, dog walkers, runners. And it was moving that claw back and forth, fending people off the best that it could. It was a fight that it was eventually going to lose, being that small, one claw. That small, you cannot fight the entire world. But what a brave battle. So, of course, we immediately moved it, so it would not have to continue fighting. But had we not moved it, it was one little fearless creature, or one creature filled with fear, but unafraid of being afraid. Everything wants to live. Everything is consciousness being expressed as what it is. Everything has a right to live. even crabs. Let's see. Skid says, I will have crabs in my thoughts, RB. It says, forgo all worldly objects. Tima says, this night's, we meet all on so many different streams all over the world. This is true. It's amazing when you think about it. We have Switzerland by way of Germany. We have all of Great Britain represented. We have Australia, the US. Pretty amazing. Let's see. All right. Nightmare says dead people voted ghost. I think it was straight up, guys. I think it was legit. Even Runner Boy loves turtles. Runner Boy says, make sure you put the turtle into a deep lake with steep slopes. Sloops, right? It's true to beautiful Timo, knowing we are all living our individual lives, but we still have the opportunity, thanks to technology, to connect with others across the world. Sometimes I wonder if technology is just leading the way of where we are going consciously. That we're making these huge technical advances to things that we will one day be able to do without the technology itself. Of course, that's just surmising. Ginger says the turtle is going to drag us into the muck hole. Probably going to wreck the economy. If I'm not mistaken, it's going to wreck the economy. Bookcha says Ireland, as is Runner Boy. My cat's making a lot of noise. Optimop says I would stop my car to take the turtle with us. The next day I would build something in the backyard of the car so the turtle and Bax could look out the car while streaming and show all the beauty. Nice. The turtle would enjoy that. Ginger says, nope, the turtle has dementia. He is very slow. That was funny. Nightmare says, wait until we see the economy now after that vote. The turtle would say, we on the German highway. Man, the turtle could not imagine going that fast. It'd be like, look at me now. What would my turtle family be thinking when they see me going this fast? Ginger says, watch the turtle ride a bike. So it was a good vote. It was a good live stream. Talked about my usual stuff, but we had some fun. Tomorrow, I will tell my drunken story. If anyone's around, anyone wants to hear it. I've told it before. Ginger says, watch the turtle ride a bike. I read that. Runner Boy says, I'm a Gen. We all get reincarnated into Chrome and just a lag. I missed that. Imagine we all get reincarnated into Chrome and just the last part is losing me. All right, guys, I got to wrap things up. I'm going to get to sleep. Chrome. Oh, the internet browser. Gotcha. Who's to say? Ginger says, watch this, our gas prices skyrocket because of the turtle. Everyone blames the turtle. When we really should be blaming Runner Boy. He's the one he was the deciding vote. Let's see. Optimus says, good night. Good night, my friend. Skit says, good night, you wonderful souls. Much love to you all. Much love to you, Skits. Nightmare says, great stream, Eric. Thank you, Nightmare. We had a lot of fun. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for voting. See you guys tomorrow if you're around. Take care, guys.